Thanks a lot for staying tuned. If you just joined us, this is TMI. We're taking a look at the Rivers State crisis, talking about the appeal court judgment. What effect or impact is it going to have in Fubara's administration or governance? We still have two of our guests in diaspora, Honorable Hiegariva and of course Benjamin Mayer, one US, the other one in Germany, and I have two of my guests here in the studio, St. Moses and Destiny. Now let's move straight down to New Jersey, US. Honorable Ehi, now what do you feel about the situation right now in Rivers State? Some are saying that this should have been a solution for the parties to really profile rather than going to court, which is the judiciary. What would have been the exact solution to this, political or judicial?
Well, I think we have moved past the political solution stage. It was Robert Greene who first stated in his 48 Laws of Power that whether we like it or not, we are all part of a never ending game of power. We are either striving for power or we are wielding it at the moment. That means holding on to power, or we are being used as a pawn in the power play by people who are more powerful than us. We have to choose our path. I heard my fellow contributors, who have said that they felt it was morally, because not legally, wrong, for the judge to have advised that the constitute the that the what's it called, the budget. Thank you very much for that intervention. That the budget, should have been allowed to sail through. The truth remains, if you were going to the right and you keep moving further in the left, no matter how far you have gone to the left, if you still intend to achieve your aim of moving to the right, you must retrace your step and move in the right direction. The question now to be asked is this: River State, upon the election that had last year, they had 32 members of the State House of Assembly representing 32 constituencies. I think a couple of weeks after they were inaugurated, a member died, and that brought them to 31. And, at the beginning of this fracas, there was Fubara's first speaker, calling Fubara first speaker, Edison here, whom eventually asked to resign his membership of the House of Assembly and became chief of staff to him now. So as we speak, I beg your pardon, we have 30 elected members of River State House of Assembly representing 32 constituency. So what an aberration it will be that only three members representing only three constituencies, to the exclusion of 27 constituency, went ahead and passed a budget. For the information of my co-discussants, a budget is not just a mere piece of paper. It is an opportunity for you to defend and propose projects for your own constituency that are included in the budget or were excluded from the budget. So you scrutinize this on behalf of your constituency, and this was not allowed to be. 27 constituencies were exempted from this process, and only three people went ahead and passed a budget for a whole state. I think it's an aberration. Where did they pass the budget? Inside government house. A clear violation of the principle of separation of power. The government house of every state is the place that the executive arm of government dwells and does business. The legislator or the legislative arm have no business doing their own official business inside the executive, marrying the two arms of government together into one, thereby eliminating what they were set for, one of the basic principles of checks and balances on the executive. Therefore, it was right for the judge to say, though you have passed the budget, but you have passed it wrongly. And to assert also that the president should wade in, I think the president has done what a statesman would do. from the start of this crisis. He had called the various groups together and they met and discussed. It was the governor of the state, Fubara, who violated the terms of those agreements and tore them and threw them in the dustbin and decided to go on his own voyage. First and foremost, I think Nigeria is at a crossroad because the governors that we have wield too much power. We had the same issue in Edo State and we let it slide. My friend, I needed to correct you. That incident happened under Governor Obaseki and not to Shomole, where about 7 people out of 24
No, it
were
happened
members
also
of
in
a
the time
Edo
of
State House
Oshomole,
of
both. It
Assembly.
happened at both times, Oshomole and Obaseki. It happened.
No, no, no. But what I can tell you is that there was no time in Oshomole's time that people were exempted from inauguration. It never
Okay.
happened.
Okay.
Yes, yes. No, it's not it's I have the floor, please. I have the floor. If they went, there was no time. Every member of the House of Assembly in Edo State have always been inaugurated from the beginning, except that inglorious period during Governor Basaki, where a vast majority of the people were not inaugurated, and constituencies as large as my constituency, Ego, was deprived of a representative for all of 4 years in the State House of Assembly. We made no input into the budget because we did not have a legislator to defend our interest in those budgets for 4 years. And that is one of the reasons the local government is where it is today, lacking behind in major development and infrastructure, because 4 years is a long time. That being said, the court judgment is a very simple one. It's part of the way that the governors want to exercise excessive power to the detriment of other critical democratic components. For instance, they grabbed the local government system. Look at the Edo State situation, for instance. The case was domiciled at the State High Court, and those cases never saw the light of the day for all of 4 years. A judgment could not be achieved in a case that they knew that the tenure of these people were going to elapse in 4 years. It
All right.
passed
Anchor
through the
now,
hands
Honorable
of
Eki.
numerous
Anchor now,
judges.
please.
Okay, now you look at the River State situation. What was the Court of Appeal say? First of all, they said the State High Court lacked jurisdiction because, in the wisdom of the National Assembly, in their last amendment, they took out the jurisdiction from State High Court and placed it in the Federal High Court when you are talking of tenure of House of Assembly members. So a man that granted an injunction or a restraining order on 27 members of the House of Assembly, the court said you lack jurisdiction, you don't have such powers. It's no longer with you. He knew what he was doing. It was
Thank
just to
you.
buy time.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Eki. Well, he has spoken at length explaining everything or some things about this particular situation. Now, he talked about jurisdiction, talked about budget, saying that what the judge meant, talked about in the aspect of budget, the judge is very, very sound. In the sense, cannot use just 5 members of the House to sign the budget into law. That is, it was wrongly done, that the governor of Fubara should retrace his step. Now, I have this question to ask St. Moses. Why is it that whenever a governor has an issue, to get favorable judgment, he takes it to the state, to the federal, what I put it, to the state high court, so to speak. And for an opposition, they drag it also to the federal high court. And you get to realize that this judgment tends to favor the person that brought this case before them, state for state, federal for federal. It happened even right now in the Edo State, and now also in Rivers State. I mean, is it a judicial matter or rather a political matter? The same question I asked on Edway.
Unfortunately, it's a symptom of a question on the independence of our judiciary. A lot of people are concerned about whether they will get justice in certain courts. And so when you are in the state, the governor wields some level of influence, unseen hands over the judiciary, or is perceived to wield this influence over the judiciary. So if people of the state will be afraid to take such matters to his courts within the state. Luckily, we have the possibility of going to the Federal High Court, which also has coordinate jurisdiction as the State High Court. So when you feel that you will not be safe here, you go somewhere else. That's why this court exists. Sometimes, even in the Federal High Court, can be your position court, and you need to come to the State High Court. So wherever you feel you get justice, you go there. So, but then it's a question we should concern ourselves about. You should be able to walk to any court and be sure that you get justice. Until we get to that point, we'll continue to grovel, we'll continue to be in this labyrinth of confusion, political and legal confusion, of whether we'll get justice in a court. A court should be a bastion of hope, a bastion of justice, a place where we will feel safe like a mother's arm. That's why we see Lady Justicia, so that we know that we are going to our mother who will give us comfort, who will give us safety, who will give us justice. Until we get to that point, we have problems. So I think they are going to court and they're doing the right thing, they've done the right thing, and let us see what the judiciary would do at the apex court.
So you're saying that it has gone beyond political solutions,
judicial
solution?
The cerebral brother from the US said, he said that it has gone beyond political. I don't fully agree, but I understand what you're trying to say. They have done the best, but they can still try again. Sometimes the next try can solve the problem.
The next try can solve the problem. Well, cache of guns were intercepted on the way to Rivers by customs. Some are saying, who knows, maybe some might have succeeded in getting to Rivers. That one was just like Providence just say won't get to the state. Is this what will be the next line of action, knowing fully well that Rivers solution as the fight political, Rivers crisis rather has the fight political solution? Is it going to be solved by the use of arms? Is it going to be solved by the use of violence? Does it mean that they don't trust the process of having justice and fairness between a godson and a godfather that is affecting Rivers State positively, Destiny?
Mr. Wilson, thank you. Firstly, I want to make it clear. Guns will not solve the issue. Neither would fighting or spilling of blood is going to solve the issue. Rather, it's going to cost more harm than good. But I think this is where we need to sound it clear, like we have always been sounding it. Our judiciary, they need to come prove to us, because I think they have not been able to prove to us severally that the judiciary is the hope, is truly the hope of the common man. It is our time they come to prove to us. I think in the place where, if I know that whatever I'm not pleased with, probably for instance, myself and my friend here, probably we are having issues. I know that if I get to court, whether it is being favorable to me or not, but the truth certainly is going to come out, then we will not be having all of this issue. It is because most of us, or most of the citizens rather, have lost that trust for our judiciary, because our judiciary process most of the times is not something to speak about. So I think it is our time they come out, because fighting is not only the way to resolve issue. You understand? Dialogues, coming to discuss the way out. Some
say they've gone past that.
Even at that, if they've gone past that, but that does not give the go ahead that killing of or spilling of blood now becomes the next remedy to the problem. It's only going to add fuel to the fire. So there is no too much of dialogue. You understand? Most times there's a saying that says we disagree to agree. You understand? For the fact that we decided to meet today to dialogue some certain issues, you should be aware that the more critical the problems are, the more dialogues that will be required. You don't expect a very critical issue, you just call for dialogue and you just sit down and say the whole issues, resolve it, and that is all. There are some that requires constant
Dialogue and meeting.
constant dialogue.
Thank
Because
you.
people will come with different ideas, and at the end
Alright.
of the day, you see that maybe one will now have to see reasons why it has to come down for the
All right.
others.
Thank you so much. Take a look at the time right now. Our time is up. I really want to appreciate Benjamin Mayor all the way from Germany. I know you have so much to say, but we are pressed for time. Our time is up. I appreciate you, Benjamin. Thank you so much. I know there'll be other fora for us to meet and discuss. Thank you, Benjamin. And of course, Honorable Areva, I really appreciate you. We are pressed for time right now. We really need to go. There's no time for your advice or that, but no, we have other fora for us to meet and really have a robust discussion. Thank you so much for participating. I appreciate the wonderful analysis. And of course, to my guest in the studio, St. Moses and Marcel, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And don't forget to mention Destiny Asabo. I appreciate you so much. Well, gentlemen, this is where we call it a wrap up to today's edition of This Morning on ITV. Remember that the comments of our guests, they are purely theirs. It has nothing to do with ITV. We'll do it again some other time. Bye for now.